everyone, I'm Carolyn. Welcome back to another episode of As I See It. I feel like I need to talk about expectations today and setting reasonable, proper expectations so that we're not all let down. How many of you are kind of getting the popcorn and the beverages ready for Thursday night in the beginning of the January 6th hearings that are going to be published live on during prime time starting on Thursday. I think the first one and the last one are going to be prime time. The rest are going to be in the morning. But how many of you are getting ready for that and kind of excited and anxious to hear all of the evidence that the January 6th committee has found and that they're going to share with us publicly? I know I'm kind of excited, but at the same time, I realize that this is another Mueller report moment. So much hype, so much expectation, so much, almost promise that we're going to get to the truth, that there is going to be repercussions for bad behavior. We all saw bad behavior right before our very eyes, and everybody who paid attention to news from multiple sources also. Let me add, MSNBC is one of my news sources. That is not my only news source. A lot of people say that I'm brainwashed because I watch MSNBC. A well-informed public has many sources for the information that they get. I have at least a dozen. And if something doesn't seem right, or even if it does seem right, if it seems too good to be true, I fact check it. We saw this with the Mueller report. Night after night after night in the news and in the media, we saw promises that people were going to be held accountable for their bad behavior. And it was a huge letdown when it didn't happen, right? When the Mueller report came out, regardless of what Barr did to try to twist and manipulate what Mueller's summary was. Basically, Mueller's summary, if you don't know, didn't say that there was no wrongdoing. He basically said, number one, I don't know if he said he couldn't prove it, but what he said is there's no sense in pursuing it because I don't believe a sitting president can be indicted. That was basically the gist of what Mueller's summary was. Yeah, there might be wrongdoing here, and yeah, we might be able to prove it, but I don't believe that we can indict a sitting president, so what's the use? Very poorly paraphrasing the findings of the Mueller report. But here we are, we're at another moment of truth. Right? We're at another moment of promise of accountability. We're at another pivotal moment in our country where it can be demonstrated that even the rich, powerful, white male elite is not above the law. That the law applies to them as much as it applies to me and you. We're kind of seeing that a little bit in the people who are refusing subpoenas, that they are getting indicted, they are getting arrested. Thank goodness, because my God, imagine if you just ignored a subpoena, there'd be a knock on your door within 48 hours and you'd be hauled off to jail. So again, we're faced with the promise of accountability for rich white male elite. My concern is nothing's going to happen. We have a history in this country of letting rich, powerful, mostly white men go free. I mean, look at the crash of 2008. People were found guilty for manipulating the mortgage market and the housing market. They never did any time. Rich, white, straight men get away with stuff all the time. And now we're thinking that we might see a former president, regardless of how circus-like and unpresidential he is, very clearly to many of us a con man, we're still holding out hope that there will be accountability, myself included. But I'm not holding my breath. I've been around long enough, too much, really, and I was just going to say too much over the last 6 years that I have seen crimes go unpunished, but it's longer than that. It's way longer than that. It's throughout the history of this country that if you have enough power, if you have enough wealth, if you're the right gender and the right color, the rules don't apply to you. The laws are different for you. You know, I was recently reminded of Martha Stewart. She went to jail. She went to jail for something that's this small on a scale of crimes committed by other business people that are this big. And that just reinforces who gets charged with crimes in this country and who suffers the consequences of breaking the law and who doesn't. So while I'm excited and anxious to hear, excited may not be the right word, anxious, hopeful to hear and see what the January 6th committee has found and what they're going to share with the rest of us, I am not holding my breath that I will ever see the former guy go to jail or his aides and accomplices. Josh Hawley, Marjorie Taylor Greene, all the other players, all the other they're not pawns, they were active players in this scheme to overthrow the government of the United States of America. And more, that's what I'm hearing and seeing, that there is clear evidence of conspiracy to commit, what's the word? Not insurrection. There's another word for it, I think. But yeah. So I just wanted to share that with you because I know a lot of you are going to be watching with bated breath. And I know a lot of us are hopeful that we're going to see the country turn around. I think that's really what it is. We're so wrapped up in this downward spiral of our democracy and our country and how the institutions and the Constitution were just completely ripped to shreds under the former administration, and how just the rule of law and the very essence of truth is just inside out and upside down. And I think that a lot of us are holding out some hope that the January 6th committee's primetime hearings will somehow turn things around for us. And I want to set the expectation low because it may not lend the outcome we hope it will. So just keep that in mind. I would love to see accountability. I would love to see wrongdoing punished. But as I see it, that's not how things work in America if you're a rich, white, powerful male. So just something to think about. Manage your expectations so that you don't crash and burn after like we all did after the Mueller report. All right, what are your thoughts? Leave your thoughts below. Are you excited? Do hashtag excited if you are looking forward to the January 6th hearings on TV. And we'll talk more about it as it comes. All right, thanks for being here. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you soon.